Knicks had to fall 111 to 101. My goodness gracious, bro. I don't know what we just watched from the first quarter. Knicks couldn't buy a bucket, man. They couldn't hit the broadside of a barn the way they were shooting. They started to get their stuff together in the second quarter. You started to see it come around, right? You started to see them kind of pick up speed thanks to Julius Randle being able to shoot a little bit better in the second quarter. You have Jalen Brunson just being able to get to the line and knock down his free throws. Third quarter would come around. And we just go back to square one, man. It just goes back to square one. Couldn't shoot. And then the fourth quarter, we all know how it ended, man. Just continued to couldn't shoot at all. And then you have RJ struggling, man. It was tough. Everyone was struggling, though. Everyone was struggling. You could say that, except for, like, I guess, once again, Brunson, because he got to the line. RJ got to the line towards the end, but still went 6 for 19. Randall, 7 for 15, started to lose it down the stretch of the game. But, man, you would think only Jericho Sims showed up tonight. Woo.
The Knicks, Golden State, national television game. They just lost their last game, and they were 6-9 before tonight. You did a great job with the game preview. So, as I watched that, I saw that there's a little bit of adversity hitting the Warriors early on this season. So my concern was, a game like tonight is a game that they can get back on track. The Knicks coming off back-to-back games where they go 2-0. When you go on a long road trip, those middle games of a 5-6 game road trip is when you get tested. And a game like tonight, Friday night on national TV, the Warriors going into tonight 6-1 at home. I just thought it was going to be a tough game. And when you really think about it, and you look at this, the final numbers, as I mentioned a few moments ago, I mean, if I told you that, Curry's going to score 24 points and you're going to get, 20 points from Clay and, I guess, and Jordan Poole's going to go 5 of 17 from the field and 13, like, this turned out to be not a bad game in terms of the ability to potentially win and upset this team. Mm-hmm. But when you shoot 34% from the field and you go 9 of 34 from 3, you're not going to give you a chance to win not only this game. I don't think you could beat the Orlando Magic with these numbers. The Knicks go 2-1, tough night. And, 32 of 34 was impressive at the free throw line, but they couldn't hit a shot tonight.
Well, also defensively, this team, it's tough, man, when you got to play the Warriors, and you mentioned on the broadcast earlier, you got to watch out for Klay Thompson. Klay came out 3 for 4 in the first quarter. Like, defensively, this is just a tough team to guard when everyone's just hitting. And Steph Curry, you saw Cam had the role of guarding Steph tonight. And one-on-one matchup, I thought he did a pretty solid job. It's when Steph is off ball. That's the biggest thing for most defenders, because Steph he knows how to weave in and out of screens, how to just relocate on the court and find open shots. Same thing with Klay. It's just difficult if you're not used to playing teams like that who can do it at such a high level. I feel like it was just tough to expect the Knicks to go on a 3-game win streak, especially going to the Warriors home court. But it was right there, man. It was right there. If they could have only knocked down some of their shots, it just comes down to knocking your shots, man. We're just an inconsistent shooting team.
And, I see here on Twitter that I see a video of Randall. I guess he's walking into the video that I'm looking at is in the middle of the game ensuing. And it looks like Randall had a cup of tea or something going into the bench or into the locker room. And Alan Hahn is saying that this whole team is literally sick right now. He says it's not an excuse, it's reality. Steve Kerr should be sick that it's only 11 points at half. So it looks like this video is from halftime. And I don't know, man. It's you hear the stuff with RJ being sick, and Randall kind of alluded to it, but he had a great game. But I don't know if it's listen, man. I played basketball and during my heyday, and you can be sick, but after a few days or a week, you just learn how to get through it. right? And obviously they're not sick enough to the point that they are out of the game. They're playing, right? They're not even on the injury report. So, you know, is this a short-term excuse, or is this, you know, something that's really affecting them? I will say this though, Alex, when players that are not superstars, right? You tend to see superstars in the league overcome injury, sickness, these type of things. That's why they're called great players. I don't know that RJ Barrett or Julius Randle, some of these guys are considered great players in this league, you know, at least as of yet. And so maybe when you go through those things, it affects players like that more than the great players, because that's why they're not great yet. But in my opinion, listen, you're out there. I can see it being an excuse for a game or two. But if you're telling me you're playing with sickness, game 3, game 4, game 5, and you're still struggling, then to me it's like I'm not buying that anymore.
But if you're sick, just rest, man. Just don't even play, because you're not helping your team when you're just not in rhythm. When you're sick, and if you can't focus, you're not fully locked in, things can go haywire pretty quickly. So him struggling from the field, going 6 for 19, 1 for 6 from 3, you know, even though he was able to knock down his free throws, he did some solid playmaking. You know, he came out with 5 assists, all right, rebounding. But when you're forcing shots just to get it going, and this is where we criticize RJ, where if you don't have your shot going, just try to play defense, be more of a playmaker, do all the other things. And we've seen him do that before in the past, where he can just have a good floor game. And if you can't focus on doing that, and you have to force yourself to try to be the scorer, to be one of the top 3 guys on the team, you're not helping anybody. If you're sick, just go rest, man. Thank you, Knicks Nation, for tuning in. Salute to the mods, salute to Knicks Nation, salute to the chat. We'll catch you later. Peace.